Hello and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. It's me, Rich, and I'm back with your Talking Tactics show. After a break for the FA Cup, we're back, but unfortunately, we can't report back on a victory. We're going to reflect on the 0-0 frustrating draw against Everton, and to delve into all the details. And I'm sure he will have found some nuggets of information, some valuable pieces of information for all of us to digest. Is our man Gareth. Gareth, how you doing today, mate?
I'm very well, mate. How are you?
Very, very well, very, very well. I was there at Goodison Park on Sunday. Bit of a frustrating one. Just kind of before we get into the real nitty gritty, the real details of it. Yeah, frustrating on all parts. I would say, Emery was frustrated, McGinn was frustrated. I'm sure the supporters were frustrated. Another missed opportunity.
Yeah, I think there were two phrases that I was going to use: frustrated, indifferent, and missed opportunity for me. It was just a bit lackluster. Would be another word that I would use. It's sort of like you felt that they were there for the taking. I'm watching it on the box, thinking they're here, they're here. Just keep going, just keep going. Wear them down, wear them down. And it never sort of got into any sort of proper. Oh, here we go, did it? Sort of moments, but that was really about it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, the kind of second half just drifted by for me until the last 20 minutes, not even 20 minutes, sorry, last 10 minutes, when the players thought, oh, we might not be able to win this game. We better do something. And yeah, I'm sure we're going to get into it, but that's kind of how it felt in the stands. And we were desperate for players to run with the ball, take players on. And yeah, maybe I'll get your thoughts on why that's not necessarily happening as well as we go in. But first of all, guys, smash that like button. Help us on the road to 4K. We are edging very, very close to 3,500, which is amazing, on the road to 4K. So like, subscribe, and get your comments in on, like I say, what was ultimately a frustrating performance. But yeah, one that I think we do really need to see some improvements on. Let's take a look at the passing networks because, from I guess, a point of view of positions of kind of the passes that we were making, this doesn't look too bad or too indifferent to what we've seen. I mean, is there anything here that you're kind of that would point you towards any glaring mistakes or anything that we should or shouldn't have been doing?
No, I mean, I don't think mistakes is probably the word, is it? I think we were
No.
passing wise, possession wise, we were decent. We moved the ball quite well. We just didn't do it with any velocity or pace. It was more sort of, we can see again a left sided bias pretty much, which was from Martinez, Longley, Moreno, which was the highest combination, I think, from Longley to Moreno and vice versa was the second. But the other one was also from Kamara to Konsa. So we can kind of see there's a little bit, they're trying to sort of try something a little bit different, trying to move it from different sides, but again we struggle with that sort of possession-based build-up from the right-hand side. We're okay from the left-hand side, but then we kind of sort of run out ideas. And I kind of think, especially when it comes to Luiz and Kamara, they were okay, but I don't think that was one of their better games. I think Luiz sort of looks a lot better when Kamara plays. I do think that. I just think the way they went about their passing, especially, and their position, as we'll get into, was a little bit off for me.
Yeah, agreed. Expected threat of the passes. I mean, what minute did Matty Cash come on and he's top of the expected threat? I mean, that probably tells a story in itself.
Yeah, I think he come on 64 minutes. I think, wasn't it 64 minutes to be the
Yeah,
first?
something like that. Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, and that passing network is obviously the 1 to 64, but he didn't make that many passes, Matty Cash. I think 9 or something in total. But it just shows you that he was top of that expected threat chart just for those sort of 25 minutes that he was, 30 minutes that he was on the pitch. And again, that points to what my point is that kind of you see Douglas Luiz up there and Kamara, okay, but that expected threat is low from passes. We expect a lot more from Dougie in those positions, I think. And we just kind of struggle, but I will give Everton a bit of credit.
Yeah, they made it difficult for us. Sean Dyche always knows how to set his teams up. They're quite physical as well. But the other bit there where you're thinking Everton are there for the taking is Jordan Pickford is their main main contributor for their expected threat. So if that doesn't tell you about the threat that they pose, I don't know what does.
No, it also tells you about their style of play, doesn't it? With
Yeah,
Jordan
yeah,
Pickford with
yeah.
his fancy swizzled, smashing balls down the pitch, sort of hoping for the best sort of thing. But that's the way they did it. That's the way he was sort of, he knew. I mean, don't forget, he's playing against the team that are third in the league. You know,
Mm,
Aston Villa, he's not daft. It's not like he's going to, you know, he's not going to expect him to go out and win at Goodison. He knows what he's up against and he played the right way, Sean Dyche. You've got to give him credit.
absolutely, absolutely. And then in terms of the XG, our story, in terms of the shot map, anything you're kind of noticing here,
I could notice that
Gareth?
7 shots have got missed. So
Mm,
tells you everything you really need to know. You know, there was 7, like I say, I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 shots that are labelled as missed by Understat. So, mate, take your own conclusions from it.
yeah, I certainly came away from that game. I mean, you don't get the best of views at Everton at the best of times, but I came away from that game thinking we haven't made Jordan Pickford work hard anywhere near enough in terms of chances or shot creation or getting shots on target. I think Bailey had an effort in the first half that he got down quite well too, but apart from that, I can't think of him ever making a real save.
No, I mean, and I tweeted at the time, halfway through the game, sort of thing, we're getting sucked into a physical battle here. And that's exactly what it was. And it proved to be a distraction. And that's done on purpose by Everton. They know what they're doing. And they know
Mm,
we're not the most physical of sides, you know, and we struggle a little bit up top with that sort of thing with Diaby, Bailey, and Watkins. They don't really like the physical side of the game. Watkins, okay. But the other two, they don't. We played right into their hands and we almost got sucked into that. And you're right, you were well in your rights really to come away from that thinking we should have actually won that, despite us being as not at our best. We really probably should have won that.
mm, yeah, yeah. Quick look at the timeline. Anything here about the story of the game or lack of, I don't know. Like I said to you there, last 10 minutes we thought we really need to try and win this game, and that's where I guess the most of the chances or the expected XG kind of went higher.
Yeah, I mean, I would say even earlier than that, Rich. Just before the
Mm,
60th minute, we can see that we created 1, 2, 3 shots, plus the other 3 or 4 that have come after it. So yeah, you're
mm.
right. There was 2 sort of periods of the game there, late in the second half and early in the second half, where we thought we could actually probably try and do something here, but there was no urgency.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's talk about it because I know you've got quite a few slides here that you want to focus on with regards to that urgency. Because yeah, I guess there's a few points that you want to make. So first of all, this first slide is called making it too easy. So what did we or didn't we do here?
This is straight from the kickoff in the first half. Teams and Unai Emery especially, a lot of managers focus on what they do from kickoffs because it's important to be able to get your team up the pitch and straight away, even if you sling it straight and the ball goes long and it goes into Pickford's arms, it gives you as a away team the chance to push up the pitch. This is vitally important. Managers work on this, not work on it, but focus a lot on it. This is from our kickoff. Straight away, we smash it up. Watkins doesn't win the ball. Look at us, 4 players in the opposition half there, and the ball's coming straight back. It
Mm,
doesn't make any sense to do this. Normally, if we are kicking off, I can't remember whether we kicked off or not. We must have done. I think you must have done because the ball's gone up. But
yeah.
yet we normally sort of take it back and we take possession of the football and we play it around at the back and we start the game off right by keeping possession. So Everton know what we're about, quietens the home fans down initially and think, right, Villa are going to be a possession-based side again today. But we didn't. We just hoofed it up and the ball comes straight back. And for me, a lot of this happens in different situations where things were being made too easy. You can't pump a ball up to Wally Watkins when he's got James Tarkowski and Jarrett Bramthwaite. They're going to win everything in the air. It doesn't
Mm.
make any sense.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It would just seem like we were making it so easy. It was kind of food and drink or to those two defenders. Putting those balls into the box or hoofing it upfield, and it just didn't work. You mentioned Everton and kind of making it difficult for us. And this one, yeah, Everton press. So what did they do that kind of made it that much more difficult for us? I know they've got quite a lot of physicality as well, so that probably played a part as well.
Yeah, these slides are sort of all going to feed into each other, apart from the last couple. But this is what I say about this. Is only a few minutes into the game, and they pushed us, they sort of pressed us back. Everton are not really that much of a higher pressing side in general, but they decided to do that. Look where Leon Bailey is. You know, he's got the ball at his feet and look where he is. But the thing that I notice more about this, look where Jared Bramthwaite is on Moussa Diaby.
Yeah.
Jared Bramthwaite is a centre half. And he's followed Moussa Diaby all the way into there because he knows he's got Seamus Coleman. He's got James Tarkowski behind him, marking Ollie Watkins. That is really deep to follow another centre. You know, Diaby is the number 10 for us, let's say the second striker. But that is really deep to follow him in there. And they wanted to box us in. They wanted to make it difficult for us because they know we like to play out. And we did do that quite well. We did play out eventually. We got out of quite a few occasions quite well. But it was stark for me.
Yeah. Yeah, you could see it, and that's where I guess the speed of passing, the intensity of the pass, that's where you get out of it, or making that long pass at the right time. That's where someone's, you know, Diaby's utilising his pace, he's sucked someone in and he's spun around. But as I say, that intensity of passing just wasn't there. And you know, Luiz and Kamara you touched on were probably the two of the main culprits for that.
Yeah, exactly that. And you know, for this slide, for example, you've got sort of Decore for Everton, who is really, really mobile, and that's why they play him in that number 10 because he's got a lot of energy, he gets across, and he knows that they know that Clement Longley wants to play that ball into John McGinn. It can't happen because he's blocked the passing lanes. That's probably being dictated to from the sidelines. Luiz is going to drop in. We're going to see this on a second slide, but Luiz kind of drops in here and he's going to receive the ball. And Kamara, for some reason, instead of maintaining his position almost there, decides that he's going to go forwards. So if we move it on to the next slide, Rich, excuse me, you can see what's happened here. We've made it so easy for Everton. Onana, and now Decore is now the free man. He can go and press Longley if he wants. But Decore, Onana is now on Kamara. When our two number 8s, McGinn and Diaby, have now come in field. Everything is so centralised. Luiz, great passing. This ball ends up going up to Wesley Konsa, by the way. Douglas Luiz has got an excellent passing range. That ball's got to go to Moreno. It's got to go out there. And then you've that's why I've put break those lines. You've gone through 1, 2, 3 lines there, and you're at that back four. If that ball goes to Moreno, you're at that back four, and the two number 8s, McGinn and Diaby, can push on, and you're at them. It was just a little bit.
There's so much with this. It was that lackluster kind of style, languid style. It was, like you say, Kamara just ambling into that area. He's not making it. He's not doing anything. He's not trying to receive the ball. He's not trying to make a decoy. You know, if he holds his position here, he keeps that player out. So then that might open up some space for McGinn to receive the ball. There's so many different things that he might be able to receive the ball as well, and then he's receiving it on the half turn. Luiz's body shape's all wrong because he can only see one half of the pitch. Like, there's so many things that are wrong with that picture that it's just crazy.
Exactly, and this happened. I could have picked 10 screenshots that were very similar to this, especially in the first half. Why is John McGinn not dropping into that hole? Why is Moussa Diaby not dropping into that hole?
Yeah,
like you said, there's so many things that are going on here. But I think if Pau Torres plays, that ball is at Moreno's feet already. I think probably.
Yeah, I mean, we'll go to the next slide because I could just carry on, but we'll come to it a bit later. Receive and carry. I think this is more second half, and I might have been annoying the people standing next to me, but I was so frustrated with players not, I guess, I don't know, like just not attacking with the ball, not running with the ball, not taking responsibility, not being brave, not injecting some speed into it. I know you've got Kamara here running with it, but yeah, I guess were you seeing the same thing? Like, you've called it receive and carry. What was your kind of assessment?
Yeah, exactly that. I just wanted players to carry the ball. Even Leon Bailey didn't carry the ball.
Nah.
And that's how you make opposition players make decisions for you. This is Ollie Watkins down there, bottom left, by the way. You know, what is the situation? This has come from a normal sort. We've just, this is not a breakaway. This is just a standard thing. We've managed to break the line, sort of thing. We've come through, and Kamara's got that ball. Luiz is behind him, and it was just kind of a little bit indifferent. I thought Kamara and Luiz's movement together was really good throughout the first half. they just didn't do much with it that they could have done. There wasn't a step forward. There wasn't a you go, I go, we stay, we'll go together, we'll go across, we'll spread that with those midfield too. There wasn't that sort of bit amongst it. And we can see here what's going on. That ball probably does go out to, is it Bailey on the right hand side? I can't see who it is. But that's probably going to go out to him. But then it sort of stalled, didn't it?
Yeah, and it's like every pass was like slightly behind the player or not in front of them so they could take it in their stride, or it didn't have the right amount of pace on the pass. And it was just everything was just, you think, Kamara, take it into that area, make him come out at you, and then you can slide someone in, or you can even, like, if you're in full flight, you probably just run past him. Like, Everton are a physical side. We ended up with 4 silly yellow cards. They had 1 yellow card. Like, we didn't do anything to like force them into making any sort of decisions in terms of, drastic tackles or last ditch or anything. We just didn't do anything.
No, and there's another thing that I would point out that I noticed from the screenshot is you can see both of Everton's 2 centre halves in that picture. That ball goes over the top to Diaby. He's through on goal. I don't know. I can't remember whether this is the Bailey chance or not. It was just about, like you say, about the speed of pass, making better decisions on the ball. That's Bramthwaite next to Moussa Diaby, and Tarkowski's down here. That's why he's down here, because he's followed Ollie Watkins. Play the pass. It was just a little bit. The lack of inventiveness seemed to have disappeared a little bit, on Sunday.
Yeah, agreed. Now, these final 2 slides are linked to the same thing. So we said Matty Cash came on 64 minutes. You put Cash on. What was the thinking behind that, and what did you see from the outcomes of that?
Yeah, we've seen in previous games, haven't we, where if Konsa starts at centre back, for example, Cash starts on the right, and we see Kamara, don't we, drop into this what we call a hybrid back 3. Cash pushes up high on the right, and Moreno pushes up high on the left. I'm starting to wonder what this actually achieves, because we don't ever see sort of any sort of great output from it. We don't see Cash getting into crossing positions or cutback positions, really. We've seen a few shots from him. Okay, we could probably argue that fact. But for me, it didn't really change anything. This is something, like I say, we've started like this before. But again, look at Douglas Luiz here. Push McGinn into that. Push McGinn past Onana into that right-hand half space. Get yourself up there a little bit more, Dougie. Be a passing option in front of near the referee, if you like. And it was just all a little bit. I don't get what happens with this. It doesn't seem to be any doesn't improve us or any productivity out of it.
Yeah, we'll come to the final slide, but just a quick observation here is, yes, I know we'd like to be a bit methodical. I know we like to draw players out, but look at the body language. They're all just walking. I just didn't get it. It was so frustrating. So frustrating.
Yeah, it was. I think frustrating is probably the word that you could sum up the whole performance with, isn't it?
Yeah. And then finally, you said there, does it help or hinder? Are we, is he attacking enough for a wide player? Is he not defensive enough for a right back? I guess that's the point, isn't it? Because I could see from both fullbacks, neither of them, I know Moreno's a bit more attacking, but neither of them went right to the byline to get the defense turned. They always played their crosses from the edge of the box area, and it's just too easy.
Yeah, the idea is, I think, is when Kamara goes out that right and Cash comes in. The idea is then that you can push McGinn. He doesn't have any defensive responsibilities from his right-sided position, if you like. He can then push higher, but it didn't really happen. And what I would say here is that Everton are wise to it. Look at Jordan Pickford. He's shouting at Dwight McNeil to get back onto Matty Cash so that Everton can have that back 6 across there. They know what's coming. It was very, very predictable. And I think Yuri Tillemans, again, look at that right-hand half, that left half space there. No one's filling that. There's a massive gap there. No one's filling it.
Yeah, Watkins in behind there. Make a definite run. There's just, I think so much that can be done.
Yeah, what I would say as well is I think Diaby was quite poor again, Rich. I don't know what you thought, but I think he was when he comes off, he's sort of a smile on his face and he almost looks a little bit, I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to be doing here. Am I making an impact? Am I not? And I think it was another game for him where sort of not a lot happened for him, really. We could say that about a lot of them, of course.
I agree. I said it in my kind of post-match sort of reaction once I'd travelled back from Liverpool. I said, from a basic point of view, the defence did their job. They kept a clean sheet. They set the foundation for the forward players, who we have some wonderful forward players to go out and express themselves and do their job, and none of them did it. Ollie Watkins, I don't recall him having anything like a good effort. Yeah, he had a half chance in the first half, didn't do anything and anywhere near enough to make it difficult for Branthwaite and Tarkowski. Leon Bailey didn't do enough, and I don't think we give him the ball enough in areas where we should. I don't think we use him enough, and that's potentially a problem when you've got Conso on that right-hand side. Are we utilising him to then feed him the ball quick enough to Bailey? I don't know. And then, Moussa Diaby just... This is part of the thing. Like, and even McGinn, they were hiding. They were, you've seen it on those still images there. They're hiding behind players. They're hiding next to players. So then they can turn around and say, well, I didn't have the angle to receive the ball. Well, you got to make it happen. Like, it's not good enough. If you want to finish in the top 4, if you want to have anything like a title charge, someone in that pitch has got to take responsibility, because teams are now going to set up to not lose against Villa, because that's the position that we put ourselves in. You've got to find a way of changing that plan.
Yeah, me and you spoke quite a few times about sort of being wary about becoming predictable in our shape and how we play. And that seems to have come to fruition, doesn't it, a little bit? Teams are starting to work us out, and this 4-2-2-2 shape that we've got. And if that Diaby plays, it doesn't seem to work so well. And we haven't got an attacking right back that can sort of balance out that left, which, again, we've spoken about many times. But John McGinn's the captain. He's got to track them players, and that's not like John to not do that. And I didn't see, like you, I didn't see any of that on Saturday. It seemed to be hiding. Yeah, I can kind of probably see that in a way, to be honest. It was kind of like, what are we doing here? It was only sort of Douglas Luiz who managed to get on the ball, but then he was struggling to, and the plays, especially Diego Carlos, slows it up so much. Push on. Let's progress. We're away from home. Everton are fourth from bottom. Come on.
Yeah. Well, look, hopefully they can work it out over the next couple of weeks. They've obviously got a couple of weeks break. I don't know whether any new players are going to come in to freshen it up. I think there's got to be a bit of manoeuvring done if that's to happen, but we shall see. I'd imagine they're doing some sort of warm weather training or something on the something in the UK, but I'm pretty sure they'll go warm weather training. And then obviously Chelsea FA Cup, but that big one against Newcastle end of the month, because it's not a rut that we're in. It's nothing like that. We're still picking up points. We're still picking up results. But it'd be nice to get back to that kind of fresh performance. I guess that vibrancy of how we've been playing. And yes, we've had injuries. Yes, we've had players who are kind of feeling their way back to fitness. But it would be nice to get that vibrancy back, wouldn't it? And Newcastle's a big game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like you say, maybe if they are going warm weather training, maybe that was a little bit on their minds. They got a little bit of time away and everything. It's one of them things. But yeah, we've got to start sort of. It just looked a bit tired, didn't it? And a little bit sort of wary, really.
Yeah. Well, look, hopefully that happens. I don't think there's anything in terms of panic stations yet at all. But it just be nice for us to get back to that way we were playing certainly the first 15, 16, 17 games. So look, you're going to have these little periods in the season. It's good that we're picking up points still. Gareth, once again, wonderful analysis. Thank you for all the time you put into it. Guys, in the comments, get involved. Your thoughts on that and kind of, I guess, how the players need to react and what kind of other things we might need to do. Where can people find you, Gareth? I noticed you're getting a lot of traction on Twitter, people interacting with you, which is great.
Yeah, find me at that great AJC.
Brilliant. Well, guys, thank you so much. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help us continue our growth on the road to 4K. Keep supporting the channel. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back later on for the fans forum, which is live 9:30. So don't miss that. Have your say on anything going on at the club. Thank you for watching. And as always, remember, we all follow the Villa. Thanks, everyone.